Geek Citadel.
Welcome to Bullet Points, where I list what I liked and disliked about a game, so you can take my list, compile it with others, and see if you want to rent, buy, or watch the game on YouTube.
Here's how it is, Athena. I'm gonna ask you a single question, and if I don't like your answer, you will die. Aim at the prisoner. Now, I will ask you this only once. Why?
Borderlands the pre-sequel takes place between Borderlands 1 and 2. We follow 4 new Vault Hunters that are called upon by none other than handsome Jack himself. Jack is paying the Vault Hunters to help him fight off the forces of Colonel T. Zarpedon as he takes over the Hyperion Death Star station. We slowly watch handsome Jack descend into madness as he builds an army to overthrow Zarpedon and save the moon.
Really? Well, I like you now. Do you want to go out?
Sorry, I'm not into guys.
Friend zone!
It's more of that Borderlands formula that we've come to love so much. The amalgam of Diablo and first-person shooters with tons of loot drops. If you're any kind of fan of leveling up, collecting items, and completing challenges for badass rank, Borderlands the pre-sequel has all of that and then some. New heroes dive into action with their own combat versatility. Nisha the Lawbringer deals death with 2 weapons. Wilhelm the Enforcer brings along the help of his robotic friends, Saint and Wolf. Athena the Gladiator staves off foes with her Captain America shield, and Claptrap, much like his programming, randomly executes programs that can be helpful to the team or get on their last nerve. In its own little way, Borderlands has finally created a crafting system. Players can exchange 3 guns of similar rarity and transform it into something new. The payoff is increased by using moonstones, formerly iridium, to increase the chance of a superior weapon with added effects. The Stingray is a new vehicle made for negotiating the rocky structure of the moon. It can bound high into the air over jumps and slam down on enemies, and it is a lot easier to control than the moon buggy.
You need a Stingray to get to Pickle. Remember when I told you that? Honest question. I've already forgotten. I do a lot of moon dust.
Gear problems still arise in the Borderlands series that I hope will one day be a thing of the past. There are just too many crappy weapons and armor pieces in this game. Even many of the purchasable and crafted weapons barely make the grade. I'm not asking for the motherload of all weapons every time something drops, but can it at least be accurate and take less than 5 seconds to reload? I like the idea of low gravity, and in some ways it works wonders in the pre-sequel. It's fine for flying around and shooting enemies out of the air, but it can be a pain for all the platforming in the game. It feels like you have less freedom to just float around doing tricks and escaping enemies. Narrowly missing edges due to a lack of boost or slamming into invisible walls gets old really quickly. I feel like it would have fared better by allowing some sort of ledge grab animation. I mean, they already do it with the ladders in the game. You know, I'm glad that the Vault Hunters are no longer silent, but their dialogue outside of the echoes just sounds terrible. Wilhelm is the worst offender as he's supposed to be a joke character that randomly talks trash.
Say something inspirational, y'all.
No.
He instead sounds completely bored in every line he delivers.
Bunches, send our meanest, grisliest men to grind the Vault Hunter to meaty dust.
Was already on it, my love.
Close your mouth.
The pre-sequel is not nearly as humorous as Borderlands 2 was, not even in the slightest. It's toned down significantly in comparison to the previous games, and a lot of the vulgar humor that is a staple of the series has been censored. Instead, we listen to heaps of dry dialogue that's trying too hard to dance around its PG script.
Suck on my best men, Vault Hunter.
I promise you, that sounded better in your head.
Except for many of the original cast, the newer NPCs just don't have the same essence as Borderlands 2. Springs is probably the exception to the rule, but everyone else, and that includes the villains, aren't that interesting.
My eye, and I couldn't see properly, and someone distracted me, and it's not fair.
Ha! Suck eggs, Napikins. You just got beat first time.
That's not to say that they are awful, but all too quickly I began to ignore them and focus on heading to the quests. Boring boss fights involving platforming enemies or idiots that just stand there and take shots to the face like they ordered them up at a bar. I'll take another, thank you. Another shot please, haha, give me another one. Oz kits are cool and all, but the need to find oxygen all over the place gets old really quickly. You can do a small amount of boost jumps before you have to scramble to an oxygen vent. It probably sounded nice in the development room, but it can be a real pain for getting around. I could see them thinking this was a way to make the game more strategic, but in its current form, it's annoying. Trying to do some of the tricky platforming bits can often reveal a torturous design. Terrible driving mechanics with the moon buggy and a craggy moon planet will give most first-time players nightmares. The PC version is great, but the PS3 version showcases some muddy visuals and experiences choppy frame rate in large areas when the battle gets hectic.
Dad! They're back again!
I'm gonna rip out your guts and let little nappy kids decorate his room with them.
Daddy got sleepy back Bobos!
I found myself enjoying yet another Borderlands despite a few setbacks. When you're playing with friends and scavenging for levels and loot, the fun feels endless. It's those moments when you're not distracted by another player that you see all the flaws and lack of advancement. I say wait for a sale for Borderlands the pre-sequel. It's good to have another Borderlands to play, but not enough has changed to warrant paying full price for what looks like an expansion pack. For more Geek Citadel plays and reviews, check out geekcitadel.com. Subscribe to us on YouTube, Google+, Facebook, Twitch, and Daily Motion. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you ladies and gents next time.